Okay, so what brings you to Omegle today, man?
Actually, I'm bored because of studying, and I just want to disconnect from the studying pipes for a bit.
Cool. What, it sounds like you're from a different country from the United States.
Yes,
Where are you from?
I'm from Turkey, and I live
And,
in Singapore.
oh my God. Okay. How long have you been living in Singapore?
About 1 year now, since last December.
What's been the biggest difference you think between living in Turkey and living in Singapore?
From what aspect you mean?
Oh God. As many aspects as you can talk about. I think people would be interested in hearing your points of view.
Everything is different here. The the culture is different. The weather is different. Uh, the lifestyle of people here is different. So
What made you move down to Singapore?
actually, I'm studying here.
So for school.
So,
I see.
yep.
Did you want to go down there, or uh, were you kind of forced to go, or
Nope. I'm 100% willing to complete my study here.
do you think you'll ever go back to Turkey after this?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you
After I
have
finish
I see. And what are you studying?
biomedical engineering.
Whoa. So a smart man.
Maybe.
And so in Turkey, could you kind of talk about your culture there and how you think that it's different from um, a lot of other countries in the Middle East?
If you consider Turkey to be a Middle Eastern country, it's not.
Fair.
Okay, so it's a bit different.
Eastern Europe, I guess it was. Is that what you would consider it?
Actually, it's a mix. So,
Mm.
for me, I'm Muslim. I'm Turkish, and I live like my community. There is like I live in a rural place with my family and my like uh, cousins. And it's a closed community, so the culture differs.
Hmm. Are you a Shia or a Sunni Muslim?
It's Sunni,
Okay. Is in Turkey, is it mainly Sunni or Shia?
I guess, mainly Sunni.
Okay. Have you visited Mecca yet?
No, not yet.
Do you plan on visiting there soon, like after studies, or
Yes, hopefully.
I guess a lot of people here in America that I've talked to um, on this channel don't religion is not a major part of their life. For you, how important is it?
Based on what I was raised on, uh, religion is like a basic thing in my life. It's like a fundamental thing for me to keep going in this life.
And for
Most
you,
like, yeah, for me personally, I'm talking. So, and I think for most Sunni Muslims, the same.
do you know many people like from Turkey or in Singapore who are not Muslim?
Nope, because the majority of Turkish is Muslim. So I maybe like know 3 or 4 Turkish who are like non-Muslims. Uh, Two are Christians and one is Jewish, but they're not living in Turkey now, and neither in Singapore.
And how about in Singapore? Is it a little more diverse in terms of religious diversity?
If you know like the cultural background of Singapore, most of the real Singaporeans or who are originally from Malaysia or Malay are Muslims. So the majority of the native people of Singapore are Muslims. But as you know, Singapore is mixed. It's like it has as many races as you can imagine.
Hmm.
So there is a diversity here. Yeah.
Do you find that there's a lot of, in America here, there's a lot of racism towards black people. I think that's probably the most vocal minority, one of the most vocal minorities here in America. In Singapore and in Turkey, who are the vocal minorities?
Well, for Turkey, I think the vocal minority could be Syrian refugees
Mm.
mostly. For Singapore, I don't think that there's a vocal minority because like there are no minorities in Singapore.
Wow. So
All
it's
people
just
are the
really a
same.
melting pot. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
What are your thoughts of the Syrian refugee crisis and also what are your thoughts on what's going on in Syria?
Well, I don't blame the Syrian people because of what's happening in their country, because most of the conflicts happening in Syria is because of like other Western countries who are planning to get the power of the country. I guess I'm not really aware of the full background of the Syrian conflict,
Mm.
so I can't like judge or tell any opinion about that.
Do you have any what is the kind of feeling towards America in Turkey? Is Turkey very pro United States or anti? And then what is your personal opinion of it all?
Uh, you know that it's not just about Turkey. Like if two countries have like a common interest, they will. Excuse me. Is this question like for me personally or
Well, I guess
as a,
I'm interested in both. I'm interested in what you think like the whole like country thinks about the US and then what your personal opinion is.
well, for the whole, it's the same. My personal opinion, I think it's the same. As long as there are common interests between the two countries, it's okay. But like for example, if the United States is the most powerful country in the world, and Turkey, I think, is trying to compete to be one of the top leading countries in the world. So I'm not saying that Turkey considers the United States as an opponent. Probably, like the government here is like aiming for the US to be like a more of an ally than an opponent. Yeah, that's it.
And what is Turkey's relationship with Russia? Do you think
Um, I'm not
more
sure about that. I
more
can't talk about
friendly?
that.
Do you think
No,
like
they're not friendly, no.
interesting? There are some media sources here
Because
that's
Turkey, because Turkey and Russia are, if you see like, if you look at the conflicts on the world, all over the world, if it involves Turkey and Russia, uh, mainly Turkey and Russia are fighting over an interest that each want to keep for its own country.
mm, mm. What are your thoughts of the what's been going on in Kurdistan? Are you pro Kurds
The
or
not, I don't have any background of that story, and I can't talk about it.
oh, interesting. Like you just don't feel comfortable talking about it?
No, it's just like I'm not aware of the ideas taken of that in the United States, so I can't really talk about it. Maybe you will misunderstand me and
Oh, well, I think
feel
I
different.
well no. Well, I think the reason that I'm doing this channel um is to be able to hear from your like people's honest perspectives from all over the world about what they think is going on. because I think like social media and all of these things kind of provide different information to different people, right? And so if we can cross reference what different information is saying about different issues, then I think it could help, make the picture a little more clear as to why people believe certain things. And so I guess I'd be interested in hearing the things that you have been hearing about the Kurdistan crisis or the Kurdistan conflict.
Uh, Listen, the Kurdish, we call them Kurdish. The Kurdish conflict is not a new thing in the world. It has been going on for like the past century, so it's not a new thing for us. And what the foreign media agencies share about this conflict is not like 100% correct. Most of it is like false information. I don't know for which party's interest that information is being shared. So that's why I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, thank you for at least for articulating pretty thoroughly why you don't feel comfortable. Um,
Okay.
let's see what are there any other kind of issues that are coming to mind to you that you think are important that should be discussed or should be heard by people from that are watching this?
Mm, Not really. I can't think of something now. Maybe if this was planned for, I will prepare something. But right now,
That's
nothing is coming to my mind.
cool. That's fair. That's fair. Um, I guess I'll just ask you a little bit more about yourself. So what is it about biomedical? Is it biomedical engineering? You said that interests
Yes.
you.
Yep. Well, I was planning to study medicine, but at the same time, I was interested in new subfields of modern engineering. So that's why I choose biomedical engineering because it mixes between both medicine and new technologies in engineering.
Hmm. Do you miss home at all, or are you happy to be away for a little bit?
For sure, I miss my home a lot, actually.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I wasn't able to go back because I can't resume my studies at home, even though it's 100% online at the moment.
That
That's
makes
it.
no sense. Like why?
Because if I go back to Turkey right now, the immigration here will postpone my visa, and I will not be able to go back when the study is back to normal.
It's so dumb, man. I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
How much longer do you have to study there for?
I think like as as soon as this pandemic ends, I will be able to go back freely without any restrictions. I can go back now, but the conflicts of that will, or the consequences of that will be painful and hard to proceed after that.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it would be way more of a problem than it would be
Yeah,
of a relief for you. Yeah.
exactly.
Um, well, maybe in a year, right? I think if the vaccine is coming out in April or something, then maybe people from around the world will be getting that, by next fall.
Yeah, but I'm not depending on that. Actually, the immigration here is planning to do like a new policy for international students. Hopefully by February, I guess, they will issue a new policy for
Hmm.
returning to home countries for the international students.
Hmm.
So I'm wishing that I will be able to go back between March or April.
Hmm. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you want to travel? Let's say you could go there for a week and you had all the money in the world.
Travel for what purpose? I mean, like,
For
as
pleasure.
for pleasure. Uh, well, I've already been to Bali, Indonesia.
Oh, but you'd head back there.
Yeah, and I guess that would be the best place to spend like a 1 week vacation.
Isn't it like northern Bali is very crowded, but southern Bali is like kind of the getaway spot? No
Yeah,
tourists.
because I guess I've heard that most not have I heard, I've experienced that because most of the like Western tourists go to the northern Bali, and the southern is like more what do you call it?
Chill.
Not just chilled. It's like the people there are like uh, not open to the world, so they don't really like to have foreigners between them.
Hmm.
That's what I've heard about it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I've never been, but I mean, I've talked to enough people on here to know a little bit about some spots. I'd really like to go to
Yeah,
Morocco, actually. Um,
yeah. It's I've heard it's a cool place, but
yeah,
I don't think that there's much to do there. I'm not sure.
yeah, well, yeah. I guess I was thinking about there's this city that's
Maybe
just.
just
Oh, go for it.
like for as a culture experience to know like the different cultures and traditions of other areas of the world.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm just so fascinated with that. Well, well, I have some other like random questions here. If you could choose two numbers between 1 and 48, I'll give you those corresponding random questions and see what you have to say about them.
I'll choose 22, my birthday.
22 and what which other number?
uh, Two numbers,
Mhm.
28.
28. Number 22. Okay. Question is, what is something you really want to do?
Finish my studying, graduate, get a nice job somewhere where it's like uh, good to live.
Hmm. In Turkey.
Maybe in Turkey, maybe in somewhere else in the world. Depends where am I going to get a chance. If, for example, even in other parts of Europe or a Middle Eastern country such as the UAE or Kuwait or something.
Dubai, I hear Dubai has great jobs there. Well paying.
Yeah, but yeah, it will be, but it's crowded at the moment, and also it's really expensive to live there. I've been there when I was 15, I guess.
Hmm. Any interest in coming to the US for jobs?
As I told you, if there was a chance for me to get a job in the US, I will definitely go there.
Hmm, interesting.
But it depends if the US will welcome immigrants from countries such as us, or as you know, Muslims are not really welcomed in the US.
Well, I don't think that. I think it's split. I think you have people from Middle America. I think this is a
Yeah, exactly. From middle,
given.
the Middle Americans, the white Americans.
That's not true either. Not white, because like,
And I don't
you
mean
know what I
white.
mean?
I mean like the majority of them are white native. I'm not native. White Americans, the majority.
Yeah, this
And
and
sorry
this
if
no no
that was
no
offensive
no
for
no no
you.
no 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 no. I think this is what this channel is for. It's not offensive at all. I think it's important to talk about it because the distinctions are really important. Just like for you, I'm sure it wasn't I hope you didn't take offense to me calling Turkey a Middle Eastern country. I don't take offense
No,
by
no.
I don't take offense by you calling the people in Middle America white, or because the majority are white in Middle America, but there are also a lot of white Americans who are very open to immigrants and very open to diversity, because that's what makes our country great, is that
Yeah, but
people, or at least it did, but now we have this fool who's now leaving the White House, um, who was bringing up a lot of divisiveness. And it's true. There were
yeah,
73 million people that voted for that man again. Um, but more people
but I
voted
say
for
that
Biden.
the majority is in the middle of America, because if you notice that most immigrants going to the US usually are located on either the East American coast or the West American coast, and the Middle America is mostly like the real, what you call, I don't know what do you call them, the real Americans. That's why
Well,
I
well,
call
yeah,
them
well,
white.
yeah, well, that's interesting that you call them the real Americans, because I
Not
think
the
of
real
the
Americans. I mean the majority of Americans.
well, that's interesting too, right? Because the cities have the
I'm
most
not
people.
talking like about. I'm not talking like about a race or color. I'm talking about a mentality, not a race or color.
Hmm. That's true. It's
I
true.
mean, and this mentality is you can find it mostly in the white Americans. So that's why I say white Americans.
Hmm. Which is, I understand that, but it's also not quite exactly true. You know what I mean? I feel like it's dangerous to say, like that, like all it would be like very wrong, I think, for me to say all radical Muslims, or all radical Muslims are Sunni. There are no radical Shias at all. That would be like what are you talking about? Like, that's not absolutely not true. And so I think those important specific distinctions are really important, because if we think about certain people as doing certain things, then we don't give them a chance. We judge the book before we judge the book by its cover, and I think that that's something to really try to avoid in this time. That every person is a person and comes from a different culture, and yeah, we may disagree, but that every person has a very complicated place that they're coming from, and that if we can sit and listen and not label, then we can understand where people are coming from a bit more. And I think that that's really important to do, right? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. But when do you think that will be possible to be done in the US?
Well, uh, I think right now, I'm sitting with you and we're talking about this, right? A person from the United States, a person from originally from Turkey, who's now in Singapore. It's happening now. And there are people who are sitting and listening to this conversation and thinking, that's absolutely true. It's absolutely true that, you know, that we shouldn't
Okay.
judge a book by its cover. Now, the thing is, when will that become like a movement? When will that become like a normal thing, a
No,
majority opinion?
when will that be like
We have
on
to keep working at
reality?
it. Yeah, we have to keep working. That's why we're doing this right now, man, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's why we're doing it right now. Person by person, dude. Person by person,
Yeah, it should be done person by person.
It's up to you. It's up to you too, It's totally up to you. But anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
I got into a ramble, but I think it's important to talk about
No,
that,
it's okay. Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You can talk about it. I agree with you, but I don't think it's like really happening at the moment. Besides, you are trying to explain it to people.
People are
But
trying. Some people are trying. It's not mainstream. Yeah.
yeah, but some people are faking that they are trying to do so.
Mm. Hmm. So,
That's correct.
yeah, I absolutely,
That's the fact.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you, I think that's true. For you, how do you distinguish between the people who are really doing it and the fakers? I think that's important to distinguish.
Well, first, to distinguish between the people who are really doing it and the people who are faking it, I have to hear what each part is saying and what each part is introducing for the people they're talking to, and what are the majority of the of the people they're trying to reach to. For example, the people who are faking it mostly try to aim their talks and their, like, uh, what can I call it?
Uh, their advice,
Uh,
their conversations, their
yeah, their conversation or their discussion. They mostly want to include uh, the people who think that are against them in mentality. While the people who are doing it for real, they're just talking about it, discussing everyone about it. They don't care about your mentality or whatever you think of them. They just want to prove their idea. They don't want to, like, change your idea. They just want to introduce to their thoughts and what are they planning for. But the people who are faking it, they mostly aim for a specific type of people or a specific minority, and they try to, like, force them to change their thoughts.
So for you, the difference between a faker is a person who tries to push their idea and not listen,
Yep,
whereas
yep,
a person that is sincere listens and presents their topic without pushing it.
yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. I think that we all need to become better listeners, right? I think
Yep. They're not better listeners. You need to listen and understand, not just listen and forget about what goes from this here and goes out of that here. You have to, like, process the words being said to you. You have to understand what the person in front of you is saying, and not just like, uh huh, yes, okay, okay, I agree.
okay, yeah, I want dinner. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think if people listened more and understand and understood what they were being told, this wouldn't happen. I mean, like,
Yeah, well, I think people really care about being right. I know that I care a lot about being right. Uh, a lot of
yeah,
my family does. I'm sure
uh,
you do to some extent.
yeah, sure. For this point, I need to tell you something. Uh, this, if you, like, feel you need to prove yourself to be right, it's really common in countries such as the U.S., democratic countries. Yeah, but, like, in uh, in what you call Middle Eastern or even Asian countries, even Singapore or Malaysia or Indonesia, they don't care if they were right or no. Like, a person in power will tell them if they are right or wrong. That's why uh, democratic countries are like, I don't know how to explain that. Anyways,
No, this is
so
fascinating. Yeah, no, I guess I'm not quite understanding what you're saying. So,
For you, you're living in the U.S. You're United States. You're, like,
correct.
what do you
Yeah,
call it?
the U.S. Uh huh.
Yeah. So you were, like, raised and you lived where you can express yourself in however way you want, right?
Yes.
Am I right with that?
Yes.
But people in other countries, I'm not talking about like
I
uh,
see.
the way of what you call it. What's the opposite of democracy?
Like a fascism, I guess, a
Dictator,
dictatorship. Yeah,
dictatorship. It's not like it's just dictatorships. It's even in other countries. Mostly, the people, the real people of the country, can't like express themselves
that's true.
freely.
That's true.
They are restricted to express just the thoughts that go in the willing of the person or the party in power.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. And
Yep,
if those kind of cultures, that's like that's big thinking right there. That's macro, like on like a macroscopic scale, right? Because if you because we're being influenced by media. I'm saying like you have places like North Korea, you have places like China. Whereas if you have a dissenting opinion to the ruling party and you express that, some people fear for their lives. You know,
yeah,
if there are many countries where if you come out and you say that you know you're gay, that you could be killed for that.
yep,
And and the more that we open up those cultures to being open to self-expression, the better listeners I think people will become.
exactly, yeah.
Mm,
So what I mean, so the stereotype of countries where people can't express themselves are not listening for the purpose of understanding. They're just listening because they have to listen. If they don't listen, they will like get some sort of punishment, maybe, or I don't
yeah.
know. I'm not sure of my like how to express my idea, but what I mean is it's different for you, for people in the United States or in other like democratic countries.
Do you feel pressured to have to I mean, I think in America too, I mean to be fair, if you don't abide by certain cultures, right? Because we have liberal and conservative. If you are a conservative and you go against President Trump, then people are going to ostracize you for that. You know, if you are a liberal and which is the main camp that supports Biden, and you go against Biden, you say, I don't like the guy. Then that culture will also kind of put you down. They'll ostracize you. So yes, I agree with you, but it's not like it disappears in a place like the United States. There's still social pressure to accept the right idea. And if you don't, then you're viewed like as an enemy again, an enemy of your team, And but I think you're absolutely right though, and I guess I wanted to ask you another question about this. Do you think that for you, what do you think it's difficult to express um, because of the culture that you live in?
Well, for example, for me, what's difficult to express, I'm not talking about like, for example, as you mentioned, like sexuality or like uh, what else can you like? It's not like about a personal concept or thought in your mind. I mean, if you like have a comment about something that's being done wrong, with what you see wrong, maybe it could be right, but you're seeing that it's being done wrong, 100% wrong. And
Hmm.
if you express that, and if you say to the government, like for example, you're doing this thing in a wrong way, I mean, that's the type of thoughts I'm
I see. So
talking about.
I'm gonna ask you to I'm gonna push you on it and ask you more specifically for you as a person. What is something that you think the government or the big people in power are doing that you think is wrong?
for my country. Sorry, but I'm not willing to talk about
That's
that.
fair. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair. And I think it also goes along with what's interesting about this conversation, right? Is that like you have
Yeah,
like
yeah,
been growing up in a culture where it's very uncomfortable to do that, and there's nothing, it's not, you're not doing anything wrong, and I appreciate how much we've been able to talk about this. Um,
yeah. Sure, no problem, man.
okay, your last question, 28, and then I'll let you go because we've been on here a long time already.
It's
um,
okay.
I'm having a blast, to be quite honest with you. You're a smart dude, and it's nice. Um,
I don't consider myself to be a smart dude.
well, okay, number 28. Ah,
Okay,
if you could have dinner with one dead person and one living person, who would they be?
yeah. In my life, or like a celebrity, or
Just one living person and one dead person. It could be anyone.
like a person I know in my life, or person, a celebrity, or someone famous, or what do you exactly mean?
I mean, either. It could be people in your life or celebrities or anyone. Just one dead and one living.
For the one living, I will choose a friend that I haven't seen in a while, who, who was or still is my best friend, but unfortunately he's staying in another country, and we weren't able to meet for the past like 1 year. And for the dead person, I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't want to go for a celebrity or someone who was like loved by a huge number of people. So I can't really like think of a dead person that I want to have dinner with.
So there hasn't really been anyone in your life that you've been close to that has died.
Thankfully, not yet.
That's great. That's great. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
How
Exactly.
about how about like a historical figure? Is there a historical figure that
A historical figure. Uh,
not really?
there are a lot. I mean, there are. Listen, listen. There are a lot of historical figures that I admire, and I really can't like choose one. Really, I can't like choose one because I admire a lot of historical figures, a lot of like not historically famous figures, but they have done something that I like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone who's like, I don't know, allowed people to vote, like a certain people to vote, or
Yeah.
someone.
For example, yeah,
Mm,
exactly.
cool. Well, before we get going, I usually put like a name for the video. So what name would you like to go by? You could go by a code name or your first name or whatever you feel comfortable with.
Uh, Give me a suggestion.
Oh God. Well, we could do your hoodie name. I could call you Paris.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Paris. And Paris, do you have any kind of last thoughts or advice
Uh,
that you'd like to leave the audience with?
no, I advise you to use like another platform. For you, my advice for you,
Wait, say that again. And use another platform.
yeah, instead of Omegle, because it's full of people trying to do weird stuff.
Well, but see, this is the thing, dude. I find people like you. You know,
Yeah,
find
but
people
the
like
people
you.
like me who are just bored and looking for someone to talk with are like less than 5% of the people on here.
This is that's
So you
oh
are
yeah.
doing a lot of work to get to someone like me.
Well, I'll tell you my thoughts of it briefly. Is that so? We're in COVID lockdown, right? And so, how else am I going to meet people from all over the world? Omegle, I mean,
Yeah.
um, so far, I think you were interview number
No,
225.
me.
So
Oh, so you have been doing this for a while now.
a few months, yeah. So I mean, I've
Sorry, but what's the name of your channel?
oh yeah, yeah,
Building Bridges.
yeah. So make sure to subscribe to that, so
I
that you can.
didn't find it actually.
If you type in building bridges and then channel afterwards, make sure to put the underscore too between the G and the B.
Okay, well, wait a minute. It's not appearing for me.
This is on
Can you
YouTube, right?
can you give me a link for the channel?
Here, let me see what I can do here. Try this out.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'm now your 322nd subscriber.
Ah, there you go. See, man, a person at a time, dude. A person at a time.
Cool,
Um,
man.
no, but I agree with you. I think that I mean this is only really the beginning of it. I'm very interested
Yeah,
in talking to.
but I really suggest you to look for a better platform. Maybe you can try sharing posting I don't know, a discussion poll or something on Facebook or even Instagram stories. That would be
Mm,
better. So people who are interested in talking to you will try to contact you, and you can arrange a meeting between the two of you on another video chatting platform. So I guess that would be better for you.
yeah, I appreciate that. That. Do you have any other thoughts? Any other thoughts like that?
Well, keep it up, man.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And if you do want to get in touch with me, I have my email all over the place on my.
Yeah, I can see. Wait. Yeah, yeah, I have it now.
It's my email.
Yeah, it's in the channel description.
Yeah. If you ever want to talk again, like something pops up, or shoot me an email because this was great. You're really smart, and
Okay, sure, man.
it'd be interesting to get you on a panel discussion with people from Scandinavia and also people from Southeast Asia, some other people from Southeast Asia and India. It'd be you know
Sure, sure. Okay,
yeah,
I will try to reach you as soon as I will be free. I will try to email you.
cool, dude. Hey, well, I'll see you later, and thanks again.
Thank you, guy. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Hey, boy.